here for one reason and one reason only.
It's hard to describe the feeling.
It's been a long time coming. The feeling, haven't had it for a long time.
What it all still means.
It's a spirit that not many cities have.
Buccaneers, go Bucs!
A pride that few really know.
What an excited group this is.
It's for all of Tampa Bay.
You play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you say, I don't want it to be us.
It's like a photograph.
Tampa Bay selected Derek Brooks.
A moment in time from years ago.
What a day.
The first thing I want to say is the buck stops here.
Except it's right now. This is what it looks like. The ones keeping this ship on course. United, the crew of Tampa Bay. This is our legacy, our tradition, and the next generation of Buccaneers.
Welcome Leroy's, fellas.
It's a bridge between the past and the present for the flag bearers of this new era. And even though the names change,
Number 63 leading the charge, Leroy Selman.
the legends that came before us live on. We arrived here in different ways, but now we're here for the long haul. It's time to move our legacy forward. This moment belongs to us.
We're tearing down the goalposts here in Tampa Stadium.
There's decades of pride in these threads.
Tampa Bay defense not giving up at all.
The names on the back will change,
Boy, deep, wide open.
but their DNA is sewn into the threads.
First victory ever for the Tampa Bay Bucs.
This is our legacy, made new. This is not a throwback. It's the core of who we are. It's for the OGs, the day ones, and the generations still to come. And to the ones who understand this feeling, it's simple. Whatever time or place you're from, you were born a Buccaneer.
Welcome to Tampa Bay. We buck 'em up when we raise the flag. Fire the cannons and seize the day. The crew's ready, all hands on deck.
Welcome to another edition of the Loose Cannons Podcast. I'm your boy Sammer, hanging out with my guy Poppy Latte, and of course Stanker, and a special guest, a person who I watched on TV and listened to on the radio when I was a wee little Bucs fan, JP Peterson of the JP Peterson Show.
Wow. Oh.
What's up, JP?
That almost hurt me.
No.
I try to fool people that I'm much younger than I actually am, and now you're giving me away. So
I'm over 2,000 years old. It's fine.
So it is such an honor to be on this podcast. I can't even tell you guys. Thanks for finally having me on.
Would you say this was the highlight
on such a special
career?
day?
I'm sorry. We have an idiot that doesn't
No,
understand.
I need to know where does
wait.
this rank in your career highlights? Being on the show.
I'm going to go right below my Bob Costas moment on Sunday Night Football.
Wow.
Chris Sims almost died just to have me on Sunday Night Football. I'm forever in his debt, and I thank him for it every time I see him. I said, you didn't have to go that far, bro. Really, you could have just cut it at, get off the field. But, yeah, so I'm going to say number 2 right behind my Bob Costas moment when Bob threw it to me.
Hell yeah. Well, listen,
That's
special.
pretty nuts.
This is a special episode, JP. The Bucs finally unveiled their creamsicle uniforms everybody's been fucking jerking off for about 10 years now. Like, I don't understand it.
Hey,
Everyone knows how I feel.
Whoa. What I do on my personal time with me and my spouse has nothing to do with this show, okay, bro? Relax.
Listen, as long as it's a Rondé Barber creamsicle, I can kind of make the exception.
What? What, you think I'm standing in the bedroom going like this? I'm him.
I do that every time, dude. When you're in that position,
I'm him.
yeah.
You're pointing to your back hair?
Wow. This thing went south really quick. I'm
right.
impressed.
It's a loose cannons, JP. All right, listen.
Welcome to Loose Cannons.
Before we dive into the video side of things, what do you think of the creamsicles? Are you a fan of the creamsicles? Are you all in? Do you hate them? Are you what are your actual feelings on the uniforms overall?
Well, first of all, from a macro, I did not grow up with the Creamsicles, right? I came here in '97, obviously, when they first got good, clearly because of me. But so I don't have this nostalgic feeling for it. I was a Miami Dolphin fan. I grew up in Hollywood, Florida. And so we looked at the Bucs and, look at those uniforms. Oh, my God, they're horrible.
I agree.
And then they got good for a little bit and then, back to horrible. So, yeah, I always looked at those as like, that's awful. It's past. How can anybody feel intimidating in that color?
Yes,
okay. And then I got here and people were very nostalgic about it. I'm like, okay, they're kind of cool. There's a nostalgia to it. So, yeah. But these freaks that wanted to bring them back. Oh, we're going to want Tom Brady to wear. Tom Brady was never and I mean never going to put on that creamsicle, because for him, it has the same kind of me. It was a really, 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 really bad football for a really, really, really long time. So from an outsider's perspective, that's the way I looked at it. When I got here, I'm like, okay, it's cool. Nice for a one-off. Everybody can have fun with it. We can get the big pom-poms out. We can get the helmets. It's all good. It's fantastic for a one-off. Let them just absolutely rape you for hundreds of dollars and more hundreds of dollars for get your custom one, pay some more money for that, and just take it up, But great, fantastic. Have fun with it. I'm all in. Woo! But no, as a serious uniform,
terribly ugly.
No.
Well, it's not a serious uniform, JP. It's a once a season thing. It's
and I'm good with that.
All that. I agree, and I stand with JP on that. As far as the nut jobs out there that want to make them full time, like, y'all need to freaking relax.
Hold on, Latte. I think you need to tell people why you really don't like them. You told us the truth. Now it's time you tell the public the truth.
Why am I blanking? What do you mean why I don't like them? What?
You said the reason you don't like them is because they make you look fat. That's what you said to me right before the show.
Wow. I mean, listen.
You said
slimming color.
It's not a slimming color, bro.
It's not a slimming color at all.
Pewter. That's why our pewter uniform is.
How is that the Creamsicles' fault?
Listen,
it just is.
It's not a uniform that exudes strength and power. It's literally what you see at a Easter parade. It's exactly the color that you're. All the wives got the sundresses out, the girlfriends. That's what they wear to Easter church. It's that color. I don't want that shit on my football team. You're supposed to look across the line of scrimmage and be scared. These guys are there prancing around in some fucking Easter pastels, man. Come on. What are we talking about?
You may or may not have been spotted on the Hollywood Walk of Fame accepting your Hollywood star in a pastel suit, DJ Khaled. How do you feel about that?
You know why I did that. All right, that was a troll job because I bought all that creamsicle material and fabric the year before, so they couldn't release the uniforms, right? And so my troll job back to them as a fuck you to all those creamsicle fucks was, hey, I'm going to wear this all creamsicle outfit with matching creamsicle J's while I get my hands stamped into the fucking star in Hollywood. I did that as a massive middle finger to all those crazy creamsicle lovers. But
I heard that suit was made out of real creamsicles. That's what I heard.
I was only allowed to be in the sun for like 12 or 13 minutes, I think. That's what they told me. And then eventually it would melt and, the whole disaster. Anyway, I agree with JP, but Stank.
It's Stank's moment. It's Stank's moment. You got the stage
time, bro.
Well, how am I on a creamsicle celebration show with 3 people who hate the creamsicles? How am I on a creamsicle show with 3 people who hate the creamsicles?
I don't hate them. I'm like Sammer. It's like some of you people are just so over the top.
Yeah, you people, and you know who we're talking about.
So over the top.
It's over the top.
It's like I love nostalgia. I am a big nostalgia guy. And had I grown up here, I'd probably be the same as you people. So I get it. But if you're asking me, like, do I have that connection? It's a no for me.
Yeah, but the whole nostalgia angle, I think that 50% of those people are full of shit. Either they haven't actually watched those, they weren't around when that happened, and then they just fall into this nostalgia basket with everyone else when they actually have nothing to be nostalgic over. It was a terrible fucking time.
Bullshit,
it's all bullshit,
man. It's actually pretty cool. They decorate the stadium a lot. All the music matches the theme. The cheerleaders' uniforms, the pom-poms. It's actually really freaking cool.
Great.
Do I like the jersey? No. Do I like the experience of the game?
No.
Yes. As a matter of fact, the last time they had a Creamsicle game, your boy was
I'll agree with that.
I was right behind the Bucs bench, like 10 feet from the bench.
No.
Shiano was cursing people out, and 10 seconds later, security went and got me. I don't know how I ended up there. I had an all-access pass, and I just had, that was fucking scary shit.
You probably stepped up.
Like, agents showed up out of nowhere. They're like, what are you doing here?
You stepped on that line. That's what happened.
Did.
You stepped over the line.
But I got to watch the game from the sidelines for like a quarter and a half, and the speed of the game is insane. It's stupid.
People can blame
Whoa.
The losing on the jerseys all they want. If we didn't have a terrible, racist, awful, cheap owner, we may have won more games in those jerseys. You guys have to realize it's not the jersey's fault, and I think you need to put that behind us. Okay?
Hey, you've been around since the
that's
the inception of this team.
That's solid, right there. That's solid.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah.
Would he really charge players for
That's
Gatorade?
solid. What Stank said is solid.
He did. He charged them. from what I've heard.
JP, that's not real. This is the only stank, the dum-dum. That's confirmed. They really charge players for Gatorades and socks. Like if you wanted extra socks.
100%. He had a Coke machine installed that you had to pay money for.
What's the problem?
I was gonna say, you don't think you have a problem with that.
It's an NFL football locker room.
It's smart business. I hear smart business when you guys are telling me what I'm hearing, what you describe me. Where's the problem here? When you are at an office workplace, do you go into the break room and get free items out of the vending machine?
Yeah, I work for myself. So
okay. Well, you know what? I work at UPS and they provide.
No,
they don't.
Don't do it, Doug Heffernan. Stank, get the fucking helmet out of the way. Get the helmet out. It's not even showing.
Bro. You want this helmet wasn't showing this whole time?
No, it was not.
I got my mom calling.
That is a sick phone.
I'm recording. I told you I'm recording, Mom. Jesus.
The meatloaf.
Oh man.
Call waiting.
So we all agree. Creamsicles are horrible.
Hey, that is a sweet shirt. I like that shirt.
Wow, that's
no.
I may have a seizure there, Snake. Put that thing down.
All right, so let's talk about the video. So I will say right off the bat, that video, unbelievable. Epic. The Bucs constantly do unbelievably just great production when they put their video work together. So fucking good. And it actually made me excited. And I did that thing that you guys do with your faces when you're experiencing, is it like joy or I don't know what that's called with your face. I did that thing for like a second. And I was like, you know what? I might buy one of these just to hang it up. But I think it's smiling. I may have smiled or grinned, I guess you could say.
You smiled. Did you show teeth?
No, stop. I'm a gangster, dude. Come on.
I mean, you put out on Twitter that you're sold. So I take that as you are now a fan of the
Once I saw Baker and the
he's going to buy two.
And then they had Trask holding the ball, looking from the sidelines. I understood what the message was.
What do you assume that Trask was looking from the sidelines in that photo?
That was from the sidelines.
He was.
Nobody
was tucked under his arm.
JP, does anybody hold the ball the way Kyle Trask was holding it?
Underneath his arm.
Yes. During a live action play in a football game.
The best part of that photo is that he's holding the ball with the laces down.
Hey, even Baker's holding the ball to throw position. Like, what the hell's going on, bro?
Every other photo is in action mode, and Trask is just watching from the sidelines.
JP, so they basically started the photo shoot, and Trask went to drop back, like, oh, there's live, and they're like, no.
Just hold it.
Just tuck it under your arm.
Yeah, here's a clipboard. Put a clipboard in the other hand. There you go.
They should have done. Sammer put it out, and somebody was like, they should have just edited it like a clipboard or a tablet.
Surface Pro.
You got an FSU fan on here who clearly hates Trask. But yesterday you had a Gator fan on here who hated Trask too, so I can't really compare.
We don't hate Kyle Trask. We just understand that he's a Gator and he's not going to start. He's
not going to start, but he could be the starter before the end of the year because I don't trust Baker.
No, not happening.
No.
All right,
if he's starting, we're picking top 3, bro.
The video was phenomenal with the machine in there, the Derek handing off of the bag. That was fantastic. Rondé doing this. That was fantastic. I love the old footage of the goalpost coming down. Fantastic. The old foot, just the tonality, the film
Mike
quality,
the bouncer.
Oh, the All-Star cameo is fantastic. Yes, so good. So good.
But it was the whole thing, though. Like the entire theme, the club was like throwing throwback music. It was a whole thing, and it was like a passing of the goal.
JP, can you break some news here? Do you know if that Selman's is a new location inside Raymond James Stadium?
No, there's no such. Not the Selman's thing. I was actually talking with someone who was involved with the Selman's thing the other day, longtime Outback employee, and we were reminiscing about the chicken wings and the ribs and the food was just freaking off the charts. It was so good. Oh, so good. And I guess his widow was very religious and wasn't okay with the whole alcohol thing, and which I totally understand. And she just didn't want, for whatever reason, I think not any malice at all. It just was going to kind of go away. But that place was fantastic. So I don't think there's going to be a rebirth of the Leroy Selman's.
I just thought maybe they would like name one of the bars after him in the but clearly not.
Well, I mean, maybe outside of the trademark Leroy Selman's barbecue. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm sure they can do that. That wouldn't be a trademark infringement. So that's a maybe. I don't know. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
JP,
they called it Leroy, so maybe.
Jonas asking the chat. Rondé was the bartender. I wonder how strong he'd make a Captain and Diet Coke. JP, what do you think? You covered Rondé. You know Rondé.
Let's just put it this way. I've had quite a few cocktails with Rondé.
Got to drop it.
It would be.
It'd
be a splash
for a while, right?
It'd be a splash at best. Oof. Just a splash. It'd be
just for decoration. Yep.
He'd probably dip
the foam, just the foam from the gun.
Probably dip an eagle wing as garnish, kind of on the outside of it there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, maybe a little eagle feather.
Yeah, perhaps.
But
perhaps,
dude,
yeah. There was so much good stuff in that video. I'm trying to think about some of the other stuff.
Well, the cool thing to me was the fact that Derek Brooks has a specific image from a Bucs fan perspective, right? He's the good guy. He stayed out of trouble. He was the face of the franchise. He's basically agreed upon as the greatest Buccaneer of all time and the best human being in terms of a Buccaneer of all time. And then he hands the duffel to Mike Evans, who has a very similar view or perspective in terms of what fans look at him as. He's the good guy. He's the ultimate teammate. He's such a fucking good human being. So it all just kind of it felt right. It felt like, all right, I've done this.
Symbolism. A lot of messages, a lot of symbolism in the video. All right, so what'd you guys think of the 4 horsemen and who wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
I think if Devin White doesn't go off the rails, he's one of the 4 horsemen. Antoine Winfield gets in there instead. Am I wrong? Loyalty has its rewards. Disloyalty has a price. And I think that, am I wrong?
No, I agree.
You're not wrong at all. I think we talked about Devin a couple weeks ago, and let's just loyalty, JP. The Bucs. I'm not saying that they want to move on, but they're not. They're a little pissed off. Like, loyalty matters, man. Inside that locker room,
it should be, especially the way this head coach has supported him in every way at every turn.
Fell on the sword for him when he loafed. All that stuff.
Yeah, and then he turns around and repays him with that.
He wasn't loafing. He was worn out because our offense and our quarterback just couldn't score any points. So you can blame him.
Listen, there were 10 other guys on the field that were too. They didn't do that.
You're worn out in the second quarter, Stank, as a professional athlete.
Great point, Sammer.
You are literally, this is what you do. You are programmed.
Let's be honest. That wasn't the only one.
Let's be honest.
That wasn't the only one.
Offense failed.
It wasn't the only one. No, you're right, JP. It wasn't the only one.
It wasn't the only one. So that caught my eye. And then when they showed the picture of Brooks and Sapp, it was cool, with the Creamsicle, but they only mentioned Brooks.
Yes, they cut Sapp off.
It's kind of interesting.
It was interesting.
I do have one for you, JP.
A part of the video whatsoever. Disrespectful.
You covered the team for a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know there was some sort of nickname or something with Brooks, right? Wouldn't they call him the Don?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what it looked like to me, like the Don, like he's the Godfather.
Yeah,
and he's handing it from one Godfather because Mike is very similar, very quiet, but damn it, when Mike speaks, like Levante, the team listens.
Yeah.
When Mike is fired up, I mean, he had to fall on the sword in New Orleans. And that bitch Lattimore, and the team all of a sudden got sparked up. It's just one Don to another. It was beautiful.
I totally agree. It had that kind of
Godfather,
that feeling of kissing the ring, kissing the Godfather's ring.
Well, he was wearing the ring too.
Flashed the ring.
Yeah,
he did flash.
And you could tell that stool at that bar was always left there for Derek Brooks. He could, at any moment, the Don could walk in, and that was his seat. That's his table as a Godfather. Same.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where they just automatically get up. Everybody just looks at you like, "What are you doing?" Brooks just walked in. That's his.
Yeah. No. Even if he's not there, nobody sits on that seat, dude.
It's like that booth at the Italian restaurant that nobody's allowed to sit in the
back.
Exactly.
The table next to the back door. Yep. Stank, you know a little bit about that. I like that. What are your thoughts, Stank?
As an aside, guys, I once saw that.
I'm delivering a few envelopes.
You know what I mean? Like I was in Lake Como, Italy. Lake Como, Italy, 1992, right? And we went into this little Italian restaurant, which was on the piazza, which is their town square. And we're sitting in there, and there's this dude, like the suit, the gold. And he was sitting in the back, the big table with the semicircle with a couple of guys on the side. And people were coming in, making their requests, kissing the ring, I'm like sitting there watching. I'm like, this is straight out of The Godfather. We're in Italy and we're watching this. This is freaking unbelievable. And he just sat there and people came in. Come on, come on.
I can't even do the accent. You come to me on the day my daughter's to be wed.
And he'd lean over, and they'd whisper in his ear and he'd kind of. Spectacular. But anyway, as an aside.
Yeah, the accent requires that you have some chicken parm stuck in your esophagus that never leaves. You're almost about to choke.
That's
on some eggplant or something. That's
something. Yeah. Or you took a couple bullets in the throat once or twice,
And the throat. Yeah. Well, everybody knows if you came into the
anyway, that was the
you'd
vibe.
Have to talk to Paulie, and if you talked to Paulie, you knew exactly where you were gonna sit that night. And if you didn't sit there, Paulie would say something. And actually, he wouldn't even really have to say something. He would just give you a look.
Oh, nice.
That's Derek.
Very nice.
We should
Joey Bag of Donuts was right there. Uh-huh.
But hey, that Warren Sapp omission, I noticed it almost immediately.
Right?
I was like, how is that guy not in this?
I was like, ooh, okay.
I mean, why isn't he sitting next to Derek? Yeah, why is he
ever in the video?
No, not at all. Why isn't he next to Derek? Like,
because he's working for the Commanders, Washington football team, Redskins, whatever they're called. He works for them now, so maybe that's why they excluded him.
I'm with you, Stank. I'm always going to call them the Redskins. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, please do. I can't call them the Commanders.
I can't believe you would say that on the internet.
Well, you actually couldn't. You're the one who can't say
you
it.
could.
Or what? You're not Native American.
JP, you don't know what I am. I'm brown. I can get away with a little bit.
We talked about the orange. We talked about the creamsicle, the throwback. It's cool, that stuff. I'd love to get your thoughts on this team. I know the three of us, well, the two of us, Stanker's a bitch, are bullish on the Bucs. They got some chips on their shoulders. We've had some conversations off here. They're kind of pissed. They're pissed that they're picking them to pick in the top three consistently, that they're saying they're going to finish last in the division, that they're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, and they're excited. They're pissed. They're hungry. What are your thoughts on this team, and what do you think is going to happen next year?
Listen, I said this last year, and Carlton Davis backed it up just the other day when he talked about Brady. He's the first one that's actually said something about it. He didn't say it. You remember what he said? He said, Tom's gone now, and it's more of a family atmosphere, and that is palpable. And the guys that I've talked to off the record, last year especially, they had enough. And it wasn't, and nothing against Tom, but look, man, let's just be real about this. Okay, Tom Brady was the greatest thing that ever happened to Bucs post 2002. Okay, nobody did. Maybe you can say the best thing that ever happened to them, in their history, because it's Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. He came and played for us. We won a freaking Super Bowl.
Should have won two.
Should have won two. Won 13. I mean, it was freaking fantastic, and thank you, Tom, for picking us. But Tom didn't pick us because he liked us. Okay, Tom picked us because it was his best chance to win a Super Bowl, and he knew that. It was he was self-serving. He was a mercenary. It is what it is. Let's just keep it where it is. And by the way, for them to put the Brady jersey out there in the creamsicle, that's a Doug Williams. That's a Doug Williams jersey. Okay?
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm
just gonna say that.
That's disrespectful to Doug.
Yeah, I totally agree. 1000%.
Greatest number 12 to ever play for this football.
You're gonna put it out there. Put some with Brady on it. Put some with Williams on it. Just my 10
As a matter of fact, that act may have reignited the Doug Williams curse. Because they went out and disrespected.
Oh, here comes the PTSD
bullshit. Uniform.
Oh my God!
Let JP finish his point on this team. On this team. Yeah,
you never know.
Cut him up.
JP, you can finish.
I think it's palpable, and I think it's powerful. I think it's powerful. These guys want to show the NFL and the world that they're more than just Tom Brady. It wasn't just Tom Brady that won that Super Bowl. That there's still a roster here. And that's I think that's a very powerful force, if you will. I just think that these guys want to prove something. And I think it's a talented roster. I think you still got 11 guys on this team that went to the Pro Bowl. These are not chumps. Tristan Wirfs is the best tackle in the league. And,
agreed.
he may take some time at left tackle, so he'll be just really good for a while before he's the best. Okay. He's just still got, and Godwin's going to be back to Godwin. And I think he's a top 5 receiver in the game. People will, but when he's healthy, no one makes better contested catches. He runs after the catch. He can block. He runs great routes. He's a winner. I love that dude. Have from day one. Him and Evans. And Evans has got something to prove, too. You could just tell. I talked to Mike at his event a couple weeks ago, and I'm telling you, man, he is locked in. They all are. And Carlton Davis is, and that thing he said the other day, yeah, I just loved it. And I think that he speaks for this team when he says that, man. The shit is it's going down. And I think this defense can be a top 5 defense. I love Elijah Cansey. I think it's the future of the NFL to have a big mofo and a little guy that can go get it as your defensive tackles, because these quarterbacks are so fast. Tryon's got to step up. He's got to step up. There's Devin White. Please come to play or get the hell out of here. I'm worried about him, but whatever. I just think this could be a top 5 defense. I think the offense, I think Baker's going to be great in this scheme. He showed flashes of it in LA. I would like a little upgrade at tight end. I think we could do better there, but there's nobody out there. Let's just be honest with that. I'm bullish on this team mostly because of that attitude. And I think this game is so much about attitude and want to. And, in this league, all these teams are talented. It's who's hungry, who really wants it. And my only kind of pullback on this team, and I hate to say this because I love this man dearly as a man and as a father and as a role model, but Todd Bowles has not proven himself as a head coach. He has not. If you just look at his record, the way he coached last year, I did not like it. He did not manage the games well. He did not hold people accountable. His continued lossing of Devin White when it's not necessary bothers me. I just think that he's got to be more of an asshole. I have never seen a great coach that didn't have some asshole in him, and that's even I hate to say it, but even Tony Dungy. And it's not asshole. It was just you did not want to disappoint that man. You did not want to disappoint him, and when he looked at you and you did the wrong thing, there was some a-hole in it. I don't even like using that word with Tony Dungy in the same sentence, to be quite honest. But there was a sternness to him where you knew you can't do that. He would hold you accountable. And I think Todd's too much of a player's coach. And he's got to be more asshole. And he's got to hold guys more accountable. He's got to bust some ass. And he's got to make hard decisions. When your offensive coordinator is not listening to you in week 9, get him the F out. Fire his ass. Fire his ass. I mean, you can't just you either fire him or they're gonna fire you. And that's my biggest reservation. And I think I think Todd, he's been more authentic this offseason. I sense a little bit more of a sternness. I sense a little bit more of if I'm gonna go down, I'm going down my way. And I'd rather him do that than what the wishy-washy way he played it last year.
Well, some of that, JP, is that I don't think he had enough preparation leading into that season to have a backup plan for a guy that he probably didn't even really want there himself anyway, right? So if he fires Byron, he's thinking, who the fuck am I going to put there anyway? Nobody on the staff is actually what I really want here. So he kind of just wrote it out. I mean, they kind of told us between the lines that that he couldn't really make that move for whatever reason. But I'll go back to your point that he's not enough of an asshole. But some players have said, like, behind closed doors, what you see from Todd Bowles and what they see is a little bit different. And multiple players have said, listen, last year, not on Todd. And I don't, some of that's covering their quarterback's ass or their coach's ass a little bit, but they were extremely bullish on the point. Shaq Barrett, for example, when he was on our show, he said, absolutely, that is not on Todd. What happened last year was on us. It wasn't on Todd. Rashad White said, Todd is the guy. I love playing. Like, it feels like they love playing for this guy and that he's hopefully kind of, hearing all that noise. It's hard not to hear that noise, right?
I think if you tuned into yesterday's show, Stank made a great point, JP, and that was that I think at some point, and Scott's talked about this on Pewter Report, that at some point in training camp, they figured out, like, oh, shit. This is not going to be the same offense that we've had the last 2 years. And he tried to address it, couldn't get ahead of it. And I think Stank said yesterday, the division was so bad that at one point they said, fuck it, let's just coast. We're going to win the division anyways. We'll make a playoff berth. And maybe, right? Because there's a lot to do with 12 as well that they didn't want change. Maybe they can flip that switch when they get in the playoffs. We all thought that to a certain extent, except when it came time to flip the switch, they couldn't flip the switch. It just wasn't, they didn't have enough juice.
Yeah, I think the losses in the offseason on the offensive line and the injuries during training camp and it just was a hot mess the whole season. Tom played scared quite a bit. Often.
Tom didn't want to hold on to the ball. He didn't want to get hit.
Look at the Carolina game, the second Carolina game. Where the fuck was that all season, right?
Yeah.
You just decide all of a sudden that you're gonna throw to Mike Evans. Like you're gonna open the offense up.
He threw to Mike.
Never pointed it out though all season. It was there. He just
didn't throw it, or he missed him.
Right, because he was scared of getting murdered back there.
Exactly. He didn't want to get hit. He didn't want to get hit
all season. He didn't step up into the pocket and didn't hold it to where he could complete the pass, but he could get hit through that process. If there was even any doubt that he was going to maybe get touched, he wasn't going to throw the ball. It's not like saying Tom sucks. Everyone's going to fucking, people overreact to this shit. And going back to what you said, like, how many years do these other guys who are fucking studs at their positions have to sit there and watch this other guy take all the fucking credit? It's building a chip on their shoulder. It's just like when guys play with LeBron. They only play with him for so many years before they're like, fuck, dude. Holy like, get me the fuck out of this guy's shadow. Because I'm never going to get what is due to me. And everyone just thinks it's all him. Even if it is or isn't, whatever. I think that's what's happening.
LeBron's legacy is completely different without Ray Allen, but nobody will ever say that.
It's completely different without Dwayne Wade.
That's as much our fault in the media as anybody's. It's the media that did that. It's not Tom. It's not the players. It's the media that, constantly every question has to be about Tom Brady. Like even, it was just like when I'm in the locker room or listen to these press conferences and it's just, I'm watching these guys and it's just every question, it's got to be it's like, you had, a strep throat last week and you couldn't play. Why was that Tom's fault? Did something
Did Tom bring you chicken soup?
You get on TB12, you could have fixed your strep throat if you got on TB12 with some avocado ice cream. Would have been fine.
Like, no matter how abstract the question, they had to always come back to Tom. And every once in a while you might see guys roll their eyes, but they hit it pretty well.
So you're saying that the teammates, everybody outside of the locker room or in the locker room was suffering from Brady fatigue, you think a little bit?
Of course they were. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I know I was.
That's not Tom's fault. That's the media's fault. And but I get it. It's just reality. And I think now they just feel like, look, these are all alphas, right? If you don't play in the NFL, if you're not an alpha, and everybody will obviously deflect to Tom Brady and genuflect to Tom Brady. And you're always going to do that. And you should, right? But after a while, when you're an alpha, you're like, there are a few more guys out here winning Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes did not get in the end zone. We're pretty good on this side of the ball too, So yeah, I think it's a powerful force, and I can't wait to see it unleashed on the NFL.
The best example is last year when Tom Brady threw the game-winning touchdown pass to Rachaad White, who had to make a fucking play to score that. Tom Brady, unbelievable comeback, unbelievable throw. Tom Brady wins the game. How about giving that guy some fucking credit? Dude had to reach the ball over the end zone. Guy had to score. Guy had to run a good route. He had to run a perfect,
gorgeous.
None at all. And those guys are dogs.
The defense stood on their head the entire game and kept us within reach. And I mean, if you really want the best example, look at the playoff run. Like we beat Washington. That was the offense couldn't score. Defense held up. Right?
Wait, you're going back to the Super Bowl year. Okay,
I'm going back to the Super Bowl year. Yeah, same in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, defense.
If Antonio Jr. doesn't strip Jared Cook, we probably aren't.
Evan White step up. He doesn't get that interception.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Same in Green Bay.
White. All we could talk about was Tom Brady. But all anybody could talk about nationally and mostly locally was Tom Brady.
Whitehead deserved the game ball in that game. And we'll talk about Scotty Miller and the bomb, but Whitehead.
I will say this though, guys.
I mean, there's so many big moments from our defense.
As a Bucs fan, watching, Jeff Garcia and Greasy and all these fucking guys, the last two, not last year. Last year sucked except for the Carolina game. But those other 2 years, JP, guys, like Tom threw some pretty stupid fucking balls that I got to witness in real life. Like just put balls in stupid places, bro, where just bucket throws right at Mike. It's like, this is dumb.
Dude,
like no effort.
The Rams playoff game.
It's just
the Rams playoff game where he burns fucking Jalen Ramsey and Tom throws a fucking amazing ball.
What is that? Just a dot, bro.
So good.
Like, so I will always, like JP's, I will always appreciate that. Probably the greatest thing that I've ever gotten to happen to my team and that I gotten to witness. It was insane to see.
I will say, hey, listen, let's spend a couple minutes giving Tom his flowers. I have no problem with that. This was the second season, and they're playing the Miami Dolphins in practice, right? And this is one of my career highs, maybe a little bit ahead of this show right here. I'm sitting there on the back line. They're doing goal line, and Brady's literally like 15 yards away from me, and he's got Evans, Godwin, the whole crew at his disposal. Fournette, Gronk. And he's going up against that Miami defense. It was pretty, and they were going goal line, and they were hyped. And I just watching Brady, from that segment, like I'm almost the safety playing in that end zone. I mean, I'm 5 yards away from the safety, and I'm watching his eyes, and I'm looking how he's communicating with, he just looks over at Mike and looks at Gronk, and I'm like, what's happening here? And he just takes a step back, and he looks to his left, and he comes back so quick to his right. I don't know how he did it. But that ball was out to the other side of the field, all the way on the out. And I forget who it was. It wasn't Mike, and it wasn't one of the smaller receivers. And he just throws a freaking dime. It may have been Jalen Darden. He just throws a dime that's about a yard outside of the end line, catches the ball. And I'm just watching him throw with precision, one pass after another. A little seam route to Gronk where he does this little shimmy inside. It's about 6 yards away from me. And Gronk turns his head, and puts his arm, he just puts his hands up. He knows it's going to be right there. And Brady just throws a freaking seed. It's like, and it was like watching Picasso freaking do his thing with all the brushes. And I'm just sitting there going, holy shit, this is the greatness of Tom Brady. I'm just watching this, and for like 20 minutes, he was just painting the canvas, and I'm like, this guy is unbelievable. And you could hear the velocity of the ball, and the spin of the ball. It was masterful. And that guy is as good. Well, it speaks for itself. Anybody who doesn't think he was the greatest thrower of the football and the greatest manipulator of defenses and reader of defenses doesn't know shit about football. He was the best.
It's funny.
Absolutely the best. Some people say Peyton Manning. That clutch gene that Tom had is just different. Go ahead, Stink.
I was going to say, I got that same feeling last year at training camp myself, watching Kyle Trask, honestly.
Motherfucker, bro.
You could hear him dropping balls out of his hands before he was supposed to throw them. Yeah, you could hear it. It was audible. The sound of the pigskin hitting the grass. And he's like, where the
No. It was like somebody punched him in the nuts. But it was like, Did you see that, JP? Were you there for that practice when he dropped back and it literally squibbed out of his hand? Nobody touched him.
Like, I'm still hurt. I'm still hurt right now from what just happened. I just had this unbelievable soliloquy about the greatness of Tom Brady. And Stank just gives me a fucking pin to the nuts, like right underneath.
I was feeling. I was
the Martin Sammers life. This is what he does to us.
And it just brought me to that moment last year.
This is what he does to us, JP. Not now. Hey, you feel mine and Sammers' pain now. We call him cold water. He's just like, put the fire out.
Oh god,
very cold.
No, he's no Kyle Trask. You are correct. Tom Brady is no Kyle Trask. That's you got that right.
Code. I think my favorite one. There's
flip that one. Flip it.
Regular season one though. That dot in Las Vegas was fucking stupid to Scotty Miller. My God, I'd never seen a Buccaneer quarterback play footballs like that.
What about that ball? What about that ball to win the game, or not to win the game, but to take the lead in the closing minutes of the Saints game, where he throws it to number 16.
Perryman?
Not Perryman. The other cat. The other cat.
I know you're talking about the sprinter.
Yeah. So, dude, he throws.
One you did a shirt for him. He's got a scoopy name.
He unloads that ball like before the guy even passes the safety or the corner. It's not even like he's just like, I'm just gonna hope he's there. And he fucking, it's a absolute dime.
How about the dime to freaking Scotty Miller at the Packers game in 5-degree weather? I mean, how about that?
Cyril
bro?
Grayson, somebody said in the chat.
Cyril
Cyril
Grayson. That's
Grayson.
right. I knew. I told you it started with a G. Yeah, that was
that's the
freaking
scary
dark.
part. It was serial, like serial killer. You made a shirt.
Yeah, Cyril Grayson. But that ball to Scotty Miller was freaking unbelievable. What a throw! What a freaking throw!
What about
so
the
many
first
to talk
year
about?
against the Chargers? The back shoulder fade to Mike. Mike talked about it in an interview.
Oh,
in
yeah,
NFL
yeah.
films. He's like, I turned around, the ball is just poof, it's just perfect.
That
Like,
game was crazy, bro.
How about
That game was crazy.
every fade route he threw in 2020 to Mike Evans in the corner of the end zone against the Broncos,
Oh my God.
against the Bills? I mean, every fucking corner fade route that he threw to Mike was just absolutely amazing. Even the one against
game
Dallas
one,
last year.
bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
What-
yes.
Mike, what do you want? The fade, baby.
Give me the fade.
Wait, what?
And what happened?
After
What
that,
happened?
it was not the same.
Golly, so bad.
I mean, we won the
Anyway,
next game.
So is
we beat
the
the shit out of the Saints. I remember that. 2-0, riding high, fucking feeling ourselves, and then the
If
Packers
Antonio
came to
Brown doesn't
town.
lose his damn mind, we win another Super Bowl. Everyone knew that. Everyone. The Rams. JP, you were at that Rams game. I've never.
Wirfs is
that
healthy
was-
too.
That was the best and the worst sporting event I've ever been to in my life. It was the best because I've never witnessed anything like that ever. We were losing our minds. Banshee ladies in the fucking in a suite upstairs. Sam will explain later. Long story. That was insane. Insane. And everyone on that sideline, they kept showing McVay and Stafford. Their assholes puckered
They
the
were
fuck. They were like, oh
pissing
my
themselves.
God, we're going to lose this game. They knew
If we-
we got the ball. It was over.
And if we get that play on, what was it, 2nd and 17 when Cooper Kupp, when S&P falls down, right?
Yeah.
The 2nd and 17 at
before
that
the play.
point, because we had a sack, I think, on first down. His second is like, come on, we're getting the ball back.
That
right?
was the
We're
play. It
getting
wasn't the
ball back.
bomb. It was the
Right,
one before that where
exactly.
SMU
It was
thought
the-
out.
yes.
We stopped that play. It's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12.
3rd and
17. Yes.
They're not going to take a shot. They're going to be like,
And
oh,
they-
If we get the ball back, it's effing over.
Bowles doesn't have to dial up pressure, even though Sue almost got there.
Sue wasn't even touched. People always lay that on Levante David, like he didn't matter. Nobody touched Sue. He came through. Look, tip of the cap to Matthew Stafford. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I mean, you got a Dominican Sue coming at you, free
I shit my
runner,
pants.
and you
shit my
lay
pants.
that ball out to Cooper Kupp like right there. I mean,
JP, you like the play call by Bowles? You like the pressure?
no, I don't like the play. No, Antoine Winfield's one-on-one with Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but
it's a terrible play.
Wasn't that an issue? That happened. That
People
was
talk
ball
about
didn't get
Levante.
in.
That's not
Ball
my
didn't-
issue.
it
But
didn't
you
get-
had
it didn't get
Winfield in
communicated.
press coverage, one-on-one with Cooper Kupp in that situation. What do you do with nobody deep?
I
What are
think
you
he thought
doing?
he was supposed to have help over the top.
Yeah.
The play broke down. The play call itself, had they run it like it was designed.
I think it's
Number one,
I've never heard that.
they didn't run it.
I never heard anybody dispute that D'Antoine was one-on-one with Cooper Kupp. Who said he was supposed to have? Who was going to help over the top? If anyone's helping over the top, it's Antoine. He should have been back.
I heard there was a
bigger problem,
communication
JP. I think there was communication issues, but I think the bigger problem, JP, is, and me and you talked about it 30 seconds ago, is it was the play before that.
Right. It's
It
the
was
play before that.
At that point, they were 5 yards out of field goal range, so you're going to go down blitz and swinging. At that point, it was the one before that fucked us.
Right. That was the
that-
play.
Why are you taking the
that's just-
fucking bait inside? He's not going to go inside. They have no
Yeah.
time. Why are you fucking taking the juke inside?
Got to make that play there. But look, that was
fucking Rams.
that was the moment. That
Why is it always the Rams, JP?
What's
That
that?
was the fucking
Why
Rams.
is it always the Rams, man?
I know, right? It was the Eagles back in the day, and now it's the freaking Rams. Yeah.
You know
JP,
what I
was the
wonder?
first time.
Why didn't
Go
they
ahead.
just let Cooper Kupp score? Like they should have never tackled him. They should have just let him score, and then get the ball back.
hard to do that in the moment.
I get that, but it's like if
Yeah.
they had, I don't know if they had a little bit of clarity at that moment, or if it was a slower developing play, I'd be
They
like,
barely got the call in, Sammer.
I know.
In that moment, like JP said.
Place is going bananas. You just want to make a play, and just get them off the field. And I don't know.
And you're hoping stupid Matt Gay will fucking miss a kick like he always does.
He was if he'd have gone out to the other end.
The wrong end zone, exactly. Wrong end zone. That was the
Yeah.
first time, JP, my son did what I and many Bucs fans and Sammer and Stank and maybe even you to a certain extent have done in the past, where you start connecting the dots. He came to me, like Tuesday or Wednesday the following week after we kind of had gotten over the loss, and he calls me Papa. He's like, Papa, if we beat the Rams, we're beating the 49ers.
Easy.
I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's like, and if we beat the 49ers,
easy.
We beat the Bengals. I'm like, stop. Don't do that because I'll be doing that for the rest of my life. Don't do that.
Smart kid.
Look, we got one. We got one from Brady. I ain't complaining, man.
It's hard to
I'm
win.
not complaining. It is what it is, and I'm just not going to complain. That was a great run with Brady.
Absolutely.
But it's over, and I'm just really excited to see what this team can do. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're that good. They're thin like everybody else at certain spots, but they got a shot. Even Baker's individual story kind of plays into it, right? It just feels like, this is his moment to show that he's not a bum that everybody thinks. And I don't think he's a bum. I think he's a talented kid. I think his attitude is right. I had a chance to talk to him at the Mike Evans event, and this humility thing is not an act. I can tell when people are faking it. It's not an act. He's been humbled, and he wants, and that is one competitive son of a bitch, man. And
I'm gonna tell you a story about the golf tournament about competitiveness with him. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think guys rally around him. You kind of heard Bolt say that, and his moxie. I just like the fit in the situation. It's kind of a micro of the whole team's attitude. I love it, man. I think Baker's going to have a nice year, and Rachaad White, he's the guy. If he can stay healthy. I know a lot of people look at him and they look at his numbers, and I don't get it, man. I watch the cat play. He makes people miss. He's got good vision. I may be wrong about him, but I think you give him, 20 to 25 touches, he's going to give you 110, 120 yards from scrimmage. I really do. And I love this, what I saw of the offense. I love what Dave Canales is bringing, and it's going to help the offensive line tremendously in terms of their run blocking. I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun year, guys.
You got a quarterback.
I hope all of y'all are right.
And you have a running back, and you have two wide receivers who are basically all in the same bucket in terms of they are doubting us. They're writing us off.
Love that.
We have our backs against the wall. We have everything to prove. I mean, that's exactly what you want. Rachaad White, since the offseason began, alpha energy. Absolute dog.
Yes.
Mike Evans, everyone's saying he can't fucking run anymore. He's stacking chips on his shoulder. Baker Mayfield, just like you said, the ultimate fucking moment. And Latte saw it, Stank saw it. If I would have gassed up Baker Mayfield the way I did at that golf tournament with the intro that I gave him that was like 35 fucking minutes long, right?
It was.
And if I did that 3 or 4 years ago, he would have been jumping up and down. He would have been going crazy. He would have been hyped. You would have seen Oklahoma Baker, right? We didn't see that. We saw very humble, oh gosh, very like, gee golly, don't do that, and you could still feel Devin. But you could still feel it, right? It was building up. And then as he was walking away, our DJ Devin at the moment, he goes, hey, you probably remember how loud Ray J got when we played this song. And then he turned around and said, yeah, I also remember that I threw a 60-yard bomb on you guys too. He fucking doesn't let shit
just
go.
Walked away.
Hey, Kyle Trask, for comparison, we played the FSU, chant song while he's walking away. And
he McFlyed it. He McFlyed us.
He just turned around and went,
guys, don't do that.
and just walked away. He took it. I was like, that's not a starting quarterback.
He didn't come back at you.
No, nothing.
Hey, I didn't tell you guys this. I had to calm Kyle down. I pulled him aside. I said,
Okay.
Kyle, I know you want to say take your goddamn hands off her and slug every one of those pieces of shits over there, especially Devin Garnett. Like, fuck that guy, right? How you gonna disrespect Kyle Trask? That guy was in the room with Tom Brady.
You gotta send JP the pictures. JP, we had
Devin did that?
show.
Yeah,
we had an entire show.
Shout out
JP.
to Devin. Nice job.
We gotta
JP.
send you the pictures, JP. We did an entire show where it's Kyle McFly and it's Biff Mayfield.
We call them Biff Mayfield, Kyle McFly, because their attitudes align with those characters. It's perfect. And one day, will we see Kyle McFly turn around and actually punch Biff? I don't think so.
I gotta remind you, who's the hero in the end?
Yeah, but how does Back to the Future 2 start? A complete reversal of fortunes. Biff is ruling the. I mean, it looks like basically he's Trump, back in the day. But he's running town. He's got the casino. He's got it all rolling, dude. And
I love it.
where's Comic Fly? Where's Comic Fly?
I do want to say when you were talking about Mayfield and Rashad White, et cetera, and being bullish on them, I don't think this team can win. Excuse me, let me rephrase. I don't think I'm bullish on this team winning a Super Bowl. Anything can happen, but let's not forget he had the Browns in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs. And if the stupid receiver doesn't try and fumble, dive for the end zone, they tie that game up in the fourth quarter. I don't know, man. A lot can happen. The NFC is fucking weak.
And that is the only season that he had a legit coach relationship, right? They had a great running game, which I think is going to look a lot like this Bucs team. Like they have a really good running game. They had he had some weapons to work with. It's very similar. So yeah, man. I mean, why not? Who had Jalen Hurts taking the Eagles to the Super Bowl last year before the season?
Nobody.
Maybe Dan Sileo. Maybe
nobody.
Maybe Dan Sileo.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Not even my man Sal Palantonio. I had him on before the season. I said, "What do you think of Jalen Hurts?" He was like, "Hey,
we stopped him.
And I'm
we stopped him here, Ray J. We made Jalen Hurts look like
we sent him home crying the year before.
Yeah, and I love Jalen Hurts. I said last year, I think he's going to be a good football player. I didn't have him going to a freaking Super Bowl though. Damn near winning MVP. Look, I think anything can happen. Now that Eagles team, roster as good as I like this Bucs roster, but it ain't as good as the Eagles roster. The Eagles freaking are stacked, and their draft was fantastic.
They added more.
I think the Eagles are the class of the NFC.
The Falcons.
How do we let them get Jalen Carter and the other?
Because the Falcons are dumb. The Falcons are dumb. That's why. All right, they're like, we're gonna pair our high school quarterback with this amazing college running back in the first round. Yeah,
that was when I saw them pick Bijan Robinson, I was like,
yeah.
Are you? And most Falcon fans, by the way, who are dog fans, were like, "Are you effing kidding me? You got come on."
Some of them are happy.
Yeah, but
some of them are happy.
We all know
they're justifying it because they signed Calais Campbell. Make that make sense.
Are you talking about the Falcons?
Yeah.
I love Calais Campbell.
There's so many variables. The Eagles have to stay healthy, and now the expectations are on them. They lost the Super Bowl. You know how hard it is to come back and win one after you lost one.
It's hard.
No, I don't know. I don't know that because I've never experienced that as a Bucs fan. We just go out there and stomp.
We all
Super Bowl. I never know.
Absolutely
to lose one.
And it's not just that we're undefeated.
We blow people out.
We boat race people in the Super Bowl.
It's boring.
We've never even had a competitive Super Bowl. Yeah.
No.
Our Super Bowls have both been over by halftime. Think about it.
I'm just saying, by halftime, you're like.
And then there's the Falcons.
Yeah.
Super Bowl resume.
Like how the NFL trolled them and put the 28-3 game, the entire game on Twitter.
Yes,
bro. My favorite when they were doing the whole script thing. My favorite was when they have the little meme. JP, you seen it of Tom turning around at BA's retirement press conference?
Yeah.
And it was Tom turning around. They were like Tom looking back at Matt Ryan when they give him the script for the Super Bowl. Oh, you're here. Hey, guess what? This was gonna happen, bro.
The other thing I was going to say about the offense this year and last year and the defense all kind of working hand in hand. Last year, the offense only needed to do so much, and they could have won so many more games based on how the defense played. It's not like we were giving up 40 points a fucking game. It wasn't Mike Smith's defense. And so they really only have to be a little bit better, and they win. Yeah. Granted, if our defense shows up, but our defense on the side, I feel like our defense got better than what we saw last year. They got younger in certain spots.
Hell yeah.
They added trenches, fat guys like we talk about, the positions that matter, and they got fucking talent at the corner position. They have talent in the safety room. Like that team on this team on defense is stacked. If they do what they did last year, this offense doesn't have to really throw up magic numbers. This doesn't have to be the Rams of 2000 or 99. They just have to kind of be average.
If I'm being honest though, guys, that Dallas game, that defense was awful. The defense was awful in the Dallas game. And I know, we weren't going to score. I get it. But it was bad. It was bad. The miscommunications, Dak Prescott. No, you can't give up the bootleg like that. You can't, CD Lamb running wide ass open, guys running into each other in the secondary. That was bad. It was bad football, man. I don't know what happened. Late in the game, late in the season against good teams, 49ers, Dallas, a defense was not good. I think maybe it was just fatigue from the offense. They were just done with the dysfunction of the whole effing thing. I'm going to chalk it up to that. But again, your head coach, who's also your defensive coordinator, you got to rally the troops. You're in the fucking playoffs, man. Come on. You got to be better than that.
We had no pass rush, JP.
There was no pass rush. I think that's why they addressed it, and Todd said it himself, and we had conversations and stuff where they were like, we never want to have to rely on blitzing again. Like, it was ridiculous. We could not get home.
There was no Shaq Barrett. People underestimate what Shaq Barrett brought to this team.
There was no interior pressure at all. It was just.
So what do you guys think about Shaq this year? I mean, God, what a horrible fucking tragedy that was. And I feel for him. I mean, if you have kids.
Yeah,
I remember reading that. I literally wept, man. I wept for a while. I was just,
we all did. He was on the show 1 week before it happened on our show.
His daughter was in his lap.
With her on his lap.
Yeah,
we had a standing joke.
I just, man, if I want to see if someone can come back and have a great year, man, I would love it to be him. Nothing's gonna ever, put that away, but. It's, and I know they're expecting.
Before the tragedy, he was high on himself.
Oh, he said minimum 15 sacks. I'm gonna be ready for training camp. He broke that on the show here. He also said, JP, you talked about the offense and the Dallas game and all the stuff and the fatigue. He came on and he was very transparent. He said, teams started playing us differently offensively. Like, we couldn't really get off. We couldn't do anything. Like, he's like the Green Bay game, for example. He goes, they reached a point where Green Bay was just like, well, fuck it. He didn't say that, right? But almost like they're like, we're just gonna play it close to the vest. Because their offense is not going to do anything. When they make a mistake, we'll capitalize, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
like, and when your defense knows that, when your defense knows they got, we got to shut them out, or we ain't got a chance.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's tough. It's demoralizing. We
had Donnie on. We had Donnie Abraham all throughout the season last year. We have him on at least once a week, and he's kind of in a similar situation. If you remember the 97, 98, 99, 2000 Bucs couldn't score. Yeah. And their defense had to play perfectly. And he said, when we were playing in those days, we could almost play perfect because the offenses we faced weren't doing all the things that are doing now, right? But now teams get the ball so many times that it's just impossible to play perfect because eventually they're going to get a lucky bounce. They're going to get they're going to make a play.
It's skewed towards them, Sammer. The referees, everything is skewed towards the offense.
And Donnie said Donnie's like, they're asking these guys to play perfect, and then the other side of the ball is not giving them any chance. And he's like, I feel for those guys. There's really not much they could do. And he never not once, and maybe it's biased a little bit, he didn't blame the defense for any of the games last year. It was weird. I mean, even the Ravens game, but he did say that the loafing thing we asked him about with Devin and all that kind of shit, and he made some. You have to go back and watch that episode. He is fucking hilarious when he talks about what happens when fatigue hits you, it makes a bitch out of all of you. Donnie has no clue how good he is behind a microphone and a camera. I don't think he understands it.
I haven't seen or heard from him in so long. What a great dude! What a great player, man. There's another guy on that Super Bowl team that never probably could have been a standout with anybody else, but he's just in a freaking. Just a sphere of stars right there. But what a great dude. What a great high character guy, man. Great player. And Rondé could never say enough good things about Donnie Abraham. What a stud, man.
Yeah, Jonas in the chat says, fatigue makes cowards of us all, is what he said.
Is that a Ditka quote?
I don't know.
That's a Lombardi quote, I think.
That's a Donnie Abraham quote, JP. That's what we call it. All right? Yeah, that's Iceman.
You hear that a lot, and if you're watching mixed martial arts, like that's a quote you hear constantly because
bro, I'm gonna drag you into the deep water.
Guys look like world beaters in the first round, and then
do you guys play high school football or college football football at any level? You ever play?
I wish I would have. I didn't. I played basketball. I was a bitch.
I played
170 pounds, bro. I was scared.
But there were moments in high school football where you're just like, I can't go. And your coach I remember trying to come off the field one time. One coach like, I got nobody put in, bro. Get your ass out there. I got nobody. There's nobody left. You're the last one. Get your ass. And you went back, and I went back out there, and I was like, okay. And you just do it. You just freaking do it. Then you come off the field, and you made a couple plays. You're like, holy shit, how'd that happen? You know, you just got to, but it you will make a coward of you. You will just, you know, and you don't, and you know it's coming up on film too. Like Devin White knew that play was coming up on film, and everybody's playing. He's like, oh God, like I'm gonna go to the bathroom during this one.
And then
because everybody sees it.
And Warren Sapp breaks it down on Twitter, and that it goes viral again.
Take the seal.
It's happened to every player in the NFL. It's happened to every player in the NFL. But when
never happened.
When Sapp calls you out on Twitter, oh my God,
never happened.
But for Devin,
has Warren Sapp ever called you out?
No. In fact, he said I should have 2 C's on my chest. Just.
Oh God.
Oh, you mean?
JP,
you mean that?
You seen those videos?
You
seen those videos, JP, of the Oklahoma drill, and people usually caption them like, "No drill has made more basketball players." That was me. I weighed 165 pounds in high school, and I went out and I saw one person get hit, and I was like, "No, I'm going to go play basketball. That's what I do. I'm not doing that."
I tried to check myself out of games all the time, but my cricket coach would say, "No, you get your ass right back out there, right?"
Cricket. Oh God, that's funny.
Well, what else are we gonna play in Dubai, man? What the fuck are you guys talking about? You think there's football fields?
How many wickets, mate? How many wickets did you have?
You think there's field goal posts in the desert? Come on, wake up.
I mean, it could be.
You ever watch those guys?
Not good footing, but
they're in their little white polos, and they're tucked in, and they're get their eyebrows waxed and whatever the f they do over there.
Hey,
I'm like,
rugby. That's a real one. Rugby.
What an absolute.
They've outlawed Oklahoma here.
They have.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Except except the spring break on the beaches.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't stop them there.
When you get, if you see those videos of they have to get the girls.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty of running Oklahoma drills. I coached Pop Warner for quite a while, and then I coached high school ball.
Why do you always bring that up, bro? Nobody cares.
Probably didn't need to do
every episode. You drop that you coach Pop Warner.
Listen,
we get it,
flex, bro. Like I coach
get
Pop Warner, bro.
I'm with you, bro.
Listen, bro.
That's real life. That Oklahoma. That was the first drill I did in football, and yeah, and I was like, what the F am I doing? These coaches, I was like 13 years old or whatever, and you're like, yeah, you're going to lay on the ground, and then you're going to ram into each other. Okay, and we're going to do it for 3 hours. Okay.
Hey, Zach's
bull in the ring. Do you ever do bull in the ring, Adam? This is a good one. Bull in the ring. Our coaches used to do this one. The entire team around you, right? You're in the middle, all right? And they go, 45 runs from about 10 yards, and you're sitting in the middle. You got to buck him up, right? And then he yells, 16 runs at you. You're looking around, and you have to do like 10 guys. And by the 9th guy, you're like, oh, and they're just like.
Stank knows a little bit about being in the middle of a bunch of guys and doing 10 before the end of the night. Yeah, Stank's been in that position before. Stank, you remember that thing?
You know what though, JP?
Listen,
there was a lot less,
bro.
There was a lot less Mitches in our era. And
that's true. That's true.
For those of you in the chat, that means man bitch. Bunch of soft people out there now. We weren't that soft.
Can you imagine if coaches were doing bull in the ring now?
Oh my God.
Listen, I coach
what
basketball.
About Remember the Titans? That's my water. You don't drink my water. If you tried to, you would get arrested now as a coach. We did that.
Listen, I refuse to coach soft, all right? I coach these little these 5, 6, and 7-year-olds, all right? Oh, sorry. 6, 7, and 8-year-olds in basketball. They miss a free throw. The next hour of practice, that kid is running laps around the entire gym. It's like 6 baskets wide, right? We're playing horizontally here because they're younger, right? Right? Yeah, that's it. Sorry. And then in the game, if you miss a layup, this is absolutely real. I'm not exaggerating. If you miss a layup for me, next time out or break, you're giving me 5 push-ups. I don't care who the fuck you are. Best player, worst player, 5 push-ups. You miss a layup, 5 push-ups.
6-year-olds?
Hey.
6-year-olds?
Hey, JP.
Hey, you know what, though, goddammit? How many championships you won, Sammer?
2 years straight, undefeated champs, all right? I don't give a fuck. I earned a technical in the playoffs as a coach, JP. Yep. I did my team right. Those kids knew.
And it's wheelchair basketball, JP.
No, it's not.
What?
No.
No. I'm all for making it hard on kids, but dude, you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
No,
they won championships.
How many times did you get sued?
Now,
My
you know
God,
what?
women-
Hey, listen, you know what's crazy?
People were requesting him as a coach.
Thank you.
People
You know
were
what's crazy?
requesting him,
JP,
dude.
I had a line. Parents were asking
That's
that their
awesome.
players be removed from said team and brought to mine. Then the next year, we want that guy's coach. We want, and kids come up. I hope you're coaching against next season, coach. I'm like, yeah, I'm there. Like, they absolutely loved
Didn't you
it.
have a big ass kid that was like soft and wouldn't play?
Dude.
His mom's like, I want you, and you turned him around completely.
I had this
Like,
kid.
no
No
story,
joke.
bro. Amazing.
His parents put him in basketball. I'm not going to give him his names, obviously. His parents put him in basketball because he needed coordination. He needed to make friends. He needed to just get going, right? You know, and they tried to, that's usually a good
Get
way
him
to
off
do
the
it.
freaking iPad,
Right?
Yeah.
Kid's afraid of the ball, afraid of his own shadow, doesn't have any coordination. Do you know by the end of the season, right? He was my best defender, right?
How about that?
Absolutely. And
That's awesome.
he always created tie-ups where you just grab the ball and that's a tie-up.
You changed his life, Sammer.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. You changed his life.
And
I love it.
I chose him. I chose him at the end of the season. They do these free throw competitions. Each team picks one guy. I chose him to shoot free throws because he doesn't get to shoot a lot during that game because we run, the triangle offense. He's not part of the whole deal. Anyway.
I got you.
So he ends up making 4 out of 5 free throws, and they go to a tie. They go to a second round, single elimination. He makes the next 4. He misses the 5th one, and we end up not winning the free throw competition. Nobody would have thought. His parents were crying. At the end of that season because of what we did.
That's awesome.
I'm the Popovich of fucking 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old basketball. All right, that's it. It's happened.
Sammer, listen.
That's
we gave the
my
people the creamsicle shit. We gave them the creamsicle shit. They got the nut off on that. Awesome. We got JP's opinion on the team. We had a little Brady,
nostalgia.
Swan dance.
Yeah,
nostalgia. We talked about Baker because no need to talk about trash. Let's wrap it up. But JP, if all stays the same, right? Nothing changes. Knock on wood. No major shit like last year in training camp. Give us a little prediction and let's get out of here.
I'm solid on 9 and 10. I'm right at 9 and 10. Yeah, I think they could get to 11. If everybody stays healthy, they could get to 11. I don't see anything unless it's just a complete triage mash unit less than 8. I just don't see anything less than 8.
Agree.
So it's the over. Slam the over in Vegas. I did. I like this team. I think it's going to be fun, man. And look, if we can win 9 or 10 games, that's going to be like the 13-win year. It's going to feel like that because of the underdog level. I just think there's going to be some good moments. I just like the vibe of this team, man. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
JP, awesome of you coming on.
Hold on, Sammer, because I'm pretty sure JP agrees. You don't buy the bullshit with Derek Carr and the Saints, right? We're a Fuck the Saints podcast, and Derek Carr is overrated. You with us?
Fuck yeah.
Oh.
Fuck yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, he's going to say it?
Fucking
End the show like this?
JP, you going to give us fuck the Saints here, man?
What's that?
You going to give us a fuck the Saints before we end the show?
Didn't I just say fuck the Saints? I thought I just said fuck the
yes.
Saints.
Hey, wait, hold on. We can't do you. No, we can't.
Most important
Say
question.
it with some, but let me say it with some.
You're gonna ask him the questions?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd be doing.
Wait, he's gonna say with some ass behind it. Go ahead, JP. Sorry.
Fuck the Saints. Fuck the Saints.
Clip it.
Love it.
We went full screen for that one. That was amazing. All right, JP, listen. I can't believe we almost fucking ended the show without doing this.
Oh my
all right?
God, we are lost as a podcast.
I was gonna slide the questions in real quick, but go ahead.
All right, so we got all this boring, monotonous garbage talk out of the way, right? Now we have to ask the questions that matter. All right, this is a two-parter. All right, everyone agrees on this podcast and in the entire world that the greatest football food in the entire galaxy is a chicken wing.
Oh,
no competition. It's the chicken wing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, when you enjoy said chicken wing, JP, are you going dry rub or are you going saucy, dripping down your elbows, wet?
Oh, it's saucy. Saucy.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be saucy, babe.
I love JP.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a nuclear guy. Can't do all that stuff.
Let me nuclear.
But
let me nuclear. It's sauce.
It's dripping. I need 2 rolls of paper towels at least. I want it.
You need 2 of those girls licking your elbows and forearms. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Listen now, JP. The second part of the question, the more important one, the one that's going to determine whether you're welcome on this fucking podcast ever again.
Ever
True.
again.
Whether you're even friends, whether you're going to Green Bay with us.
Yeah.
When you're having sauced said wings,
Mhm.
are you dipping them in blue cheese or ranch?
I go blue cheese first
Don't do it. Don't.
with a little bit of ranch. I'm
he's a mixer?
opportunity.
He's a mixer?
I'm a mixer.
Blue cheese was the right answer. Blue cheese was the right answer. I'll allow it. I'll allow it, fellas. I'll allow it.
Man.
Do like a
Listen,
bukkake of dipping.
I'm a little different when it comes to a lot of this stuff, but the chunk when you get a nice chunk of blue cheese, you know, when
there's
you get
nothing better. There's nothing better, JP.
So you like your chicken wings in an inner sauce relationship. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Segregate. We're a sauce segregation podcast. I don't know if you knew that.
Absolutely. All right. I am not for the inner
I
sauce.
wasn't
wing
expecting that from you
relationship.
guys. Really wasn't, you know.
We are
blue cheese.
yeah.
We got a lot of diversity here.
No, this is the most diverse
There's a lot of
podcast.
diversity.
The most diverse podcast.
Yes,
most.
it is. And so I think your sauce selection should be as well. But that's okay. That's okay. You do you. But I'm going blue cheese first, and I can mix in a little bit. I like a little bit of ranch there. That's okay.
You know what?
You
You know what, fellas? You know what, fellas? It's 2023. You know, I'll allow it. He said blue cheese first, right? So it's like covered in blue cheese with a dip of ranch. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Okay. It's 2023. That's what
Listen,
JP
when
wants to
you've
do.
had about 50 of them, you know, with the blue cheese, you know, a little
JP,
something different.
Are you asking your wings which sauce they identify with before you dip them? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm not doing that.
Hey,
you're
you're
forcing.
uncancelable.
Uncancelable. All right. Hey, JP, let people know how they can listen to you, watch you, all of the above.
Yeah, we're just Google the JP Peterson show. You can watch it on Twitter. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on RHS TV. We have our own app, RHS TV. You can watch it on that. You can watch it on fanstreamsports.com. You can watch it anywhere. Pornhub, Lobster Tube, whatever. We're everywhere.
You have an
Whatever.
OnlyFans?
No, JP.
We do have an OnlyFans. Yes, we have an OnlyFans.
Pornhub was
too.
yesterday's news, man. You got to get on X videos, bro. X videos. Way better.
Excellent.
Way better.
The mobile on X videos.
The mobile version on X
mobile
videos
app
is way better.
JP,
Absolutely,
let me know.
100%.
Let me know if you need a discount code for my personal website, mammothmuslim.com. I'll get you in there, no problem. First month, 50% off. After that, it goes back up to full price. I'm sorry, I'm a businessman. I'm trying to put food on my wife. Trying to put food on my wife's tables. All right, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Go
Hey,
Bucs. Fuck
go
the Saints.
Bucs.
Love
Thank
you. Hey,
you.
listen,
Yeah, well,
this
Dickie
has
B.
been so much fun, guys. I hope you have me back before I'm dead. So let's do it. Just because I do a little bit of ranch here and there, you know,
Well,
This
have
is
me
fucking
back.
amazing.
It'll be just fine.
don't eat ranch. You'll live a lot longer.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Probably true.
Go
What a
Bucs.
great Go Bucs.